speaking about Harriet Tubman. Amen.
Harriet Tubman, or Araminta Ross, was born in 1822 at Dorchester County, Maryland. She was an American abolitionist, humanitarian, and an armed scout and spy for the United States Army during the American Civil War. She was an African American and born into slavery. Over 11 years, Harriet Tubman returned repeatedly to the eastern shore of Maryland, rescuing about 70 slaves in about 13 expeditions. Harriet Tubman did some things for the AME Zion Church, such as donating land to the AME Church under the instruction it be used for the aged and indigent colored people. She has also made a rule that nobody could come into church unless they didn't have no money. Since they made a rule that nobody should come in without having $100. She died March 10th, 1913 in Auburn, New York.
Amen. Let's give her another round of applause. Amen. We have to support our children in everything they do. The Bible declares if you train up a child right, when they grow old, they will not depart from their ways. All right, Keisha. Now we will have the history of Williams Chapel, AME Zion Church, by our sister Keisha Ferguson.
Amen. Amen. All right, all right.
A brief story on how Williams Chapel AME Zion Church began. A little over 100 years ago, a small group of Christians wishing to serve God in the community met in the home of Mr. and Mrs. Gwynn on Harrison Street here in Passaic. From there, the body of believers met in a storefront on the corner of Autumn Street and Myrtle Avenue, where they began to hold prayer meetings. On September 7, 1917, with the help of Reverend C.C. Williams, pastor of the First AME Zion Church of Paterson, New Jersey, chaired a meeting organizing this assembly into the AME Zion mission. When the mission had received church status, the new church name was Williams Chapel AME Zion Church, after the Reverend C.C. Williams. Their first pastor, the Reverend James R. Robinson, was the pastor James R. Robinson. As the church began to grow and the Spirit began to move amongst the members, the current edifice was built. On March 11, 1956, the congregation marched into their new church under the leadership of the Reverend B.T. Flowers. Next to the church, a plot of land was purchased for the parking lot under the leadership of A.J. White. This quick snapshot about Williams Chapel is important and should be taught. It is important to the past, present, and future of this church. It is important that the present and future members know the beginning of the story so that they can see and understand the work of those before them. Moreover, if the people who did the work of the past were a relative, brings a new level of pride and respect. It allows a connection to be built and the want to continue to work. And to this day, we still have past and present families that have continued to build and grow in this church. The Freeman family, the Griggs family, the Scott family, just to highlight a few. Miss Glover, who is just an inspiration to us all. I even have here a picture in 1950, I believe this is 1955, of what the Sunday school used to look like. There are several members that are here that are in this picture. I'd like to pass it around so that you can see what our Sunday school, not just our Sunday school, but what our Christian education department once looked like. And I pray that one day we will be able to get back to this point. And one personal thing that I have, I came across this and it really inspired me because this is our Black History program with Martin Luther King Jr. Day coming on Monday. And I relate to this because It's not just from a man's standpoint, but it's anybody's standpoint. You may be 38 years old, as I happen to be, and one day some great opportunity stands before you and calls you to stand up for some great principle, some great issue, some great cause, and you refuse to do it because you are afraid. You refuse to do it because you want to live longer. You're afraid that you will lose your job, or you are afraid that you will be criticized, or that you will lose your popularity, or you're afraid that somebody will stab you or shoot at you or bomb your house. So you refuse to take the stand. Well, you may go on and live until you are 90, but you're just as dead at 38 as you would be at 90. And the cessation of breathing in your life is but the belated announcement of an earlier death of the spirit. And I relate to that because of what we are witnessing in today's age. The nonsense that's spewed every single day. We must stand up and continue to fight as if Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was still here walking beside us in Washington. I was not born then, but the fight is just as much needed today as it was needed then. Thank you. I'm now going to have my son Joseph come up.
Good afternoon. Today I'm going to do something about my history because this is about my great-grandmother who used to be a part of this church, and I feel like she's standing right beside us all with Jesus. A few words about my history, Williams Chapel, AME Zion Church. It all started with my great-grandmother, Mary Lizzie Freeman. She was born in June 12, 1924 in Lincoln County, Georgia, to Claude Elam and Sue Bell Reed. She moved to Lodi, New Jersey in the 1940s. With her husband, George Freeman, and 3 older sons, she later went on to have 7 more children, one of them being my Nana Lizo. As a young woman in 1955, she joined her mother in lawn, Mamie Freeman, here at Williams Chapel AME Zion Church. She took the bus from Lodi to Passaic every Sunday with her 5 boys and 5 girls. Even though I have never met her, the stories I have been told tell me that my grandmother, Mary, was a hard-working and praying woman who loved God and showed it through her work here at Williams Chapel. She was a member of the gospel choir, worked wherever she was needed, and was a dedicated member of the deaconess ministry, where she would serve until she was unable to. She passed away on November 14, 2006. But the memories of her work here at Williams Chapel still live on 5 generations, later through my Nana, mother, and me being the 5th.
And we want to thank Brother Jojo for that. Amen. Amen. At this time, we're going to ask Sister Glover to come back up here one more time. And Sister Glover will give a recap of her history here with the Williams Chapel AME Zion Church.
At that time, this fellowship hall was a hole in the ground. I remember riding past and they said, the church that was here was called the Little Church. And I was told by a lot of people that they got their start here in Sunday school. At that time, we were having service at around the corner, what's known now as the Masonic Hall. Yeah, Masonic Temple. And I joined in September of 1954 under the leadership of Reverend D.T. Flower. And like I said, we was having service at that time in the Masonic Temple on Tulip Street. Come on. I'm sorry. In March of 1955, the members of the church marched from Tulip Street to Myrtle Avenue. This part of the church had been completed, and we had having service in what is now called our fellowship hall. By the summertime, the church was the sanctuary was completed, and the service was being conducted there. I joined under the leadership of Reverend D.T. Flower. I served under 7th Ministry, Reverend White, Reverend Lee, Reverend Melton, Reverend McKenna, Reverend Lawson, and Reverend Lancaster. And I think I've served on just about every board in the church. For 30 years, I was the preacher's steward. When I turned 80, I told Reverend Lawson that I was tired, too old to carry on, to do a good job. So he said, just hold on for a while, because there's going to be some changes. So anyway, at that time, Reverend Lawson made Brother Moses the preacher's steward, who later was succeeded by Sister Renee Griggs. And I'm sorry. And here I am serving for a short time until the end of the conference year as preacher's steward again. But I enjoy working with Williams Chapel. I enjoy working with the people of Williams Chapel. And like when this church was being built, I don't know if anybody remembers Mrs. Mills or not, but I used to laugh about going to construction sites, getting bricks. She said she wore out her car getting bricks, and that's how the bricks of this church were gotten to, build this church. So, I think that's about all. But like I said, I love Williams Chapel. I enjoy working with the people here. And I just thank God every day for everybody. And I ask you to continue to pray for our pastor. I also ask you to pray for former members of the steward board. The stewards are the ones who started this King's Feast, King's Luncheon. And so far, we've only lost 2 members, S.C. Norman and Sister Vera Scott. Ask you to pray for the members that are in the hospital, in the nursing home, Sister Clarine White, Sister Alma Murphy, she's home, and also Sister Helen Allen, and our former member, Sister Louise Owens. Ask your prayers for all of them. And thank you for coming out again to our King's Street.
Amen. In all her recanting of her history of the church, Sister Glover forgot to mention one thing. past 36 years, Sister Glover has been my church girlfriend. Amen. Amen. At this time, before we go ahead, Pernell. At this time, we cannot have a Martin Luther King name celebration without making any mention of Martin Luther King. And I was just sitting here recalling as I got here earlier, me, Sister Keisha, and Louise, we were all just talking about the generations, how this is really a family church, how JoJo was saying he's the 5th generation member of his family to be a member here at the church. And I look back, I said, I'm the 5th generation of my family to be here, but then now my daughter and my nephews, they come here too, so they're in the 6th generation of our family being here in this church. And so we just thank God for the history, for the legacy that has been left by all of our former parents and everything. So at this time, I'm going to ask my daughter, little Ashley Griggs, will she come and give us a brief presentation on Martin Luther King Jr.
This is a little bio about Martin Luther King Jr. He did so many things in this world to change people's life, and we could sit here and talk about him all day. When Martin was a boy, he wanted to grow up and be a preacher like his father. He worked hard in school and grew up to be a fine young man and fell in love and married Coretta Scott. Dr. King became a minister in Montgomery, Alabama. He decided to try to help black people and white people get along better. Dr. King had a dream that one day all people will be treated equally. He made many speeches around the country. In 1964, Dr. King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Congress made new laws for equal rights for everyone. In 1968, Dr. King was shot and killed. Americans will always remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as a man who solved problems in peaceful ways.
Thank you very much, Olivia. Thank you. With that being said, I think that's all we have for the rest of our program. So we thank you for taking time out as we